Hello,
Hello.
it's us again. We're back.
Back.
We've got a game we got from Arcane Wonders. It's called Dragonscales. We've not asked for this game. We didn't know it's coming. It was a big surprise.
It was a welcome surprise. Looked pretty cool. Nice colours on the box.
But I said earlier, like, I would probably not even pick it up in a shop if I looked at the cover. I'd be like, no. I don't know. It's just not my sort of thing.
I don't know. I think it looks quite cool.
I mean, that monster is like such a generic Dungeons and Dragons / Doom sort of monster, isn't it? The one eye floating something.
Yeah, but you can tell immediately it's a game that's not taking itself too seriously.
Yeah. But anyway, we opened the game. What was inside was the board, which is super busy.
It's a very long, thin board. It looks like there's a lot going on, but there actually isn't. It's just there's this really awesome artwork in the background with fire and flames and dragon heads everywhere. But it's all a bit distracting.
But then once you know what you're doing, it's sort of okay. You don't really pay that much attention to it.
No, because most of the time you're going to be looking over this side of the board anyway, so it doesn't really matter what's going on over there too much.
So what is Dragonscales?
Well, it has a very similar theme to a lot of games, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
You're killing the dragon and then getting out.
You don't have to kill the dragon.
You can
either kill the dragon or you can get out.
Kill the dragon or escape, but if you go too far in one direction and then someone wins the game going the other direction, you get penalised.
Yeah.
So if someone ends up killing the dragon, if you're the closest to the exit, you get like the coward's token, which is like minus 10 points or something because you just ran away the most whilst they were fighting the dragon.
So in here we've got like the Yahtzee mechanism where you roll the dice and you sort of keep what you want, but you have to keep the bad symbols, and then you assign the dice to different actions, and then you do them when everyone's done. But if someone's got more dice than you, they're going to push you down the track. Yeah. And you might end up doing nothing, really, if you only have 2 dice from, like, say, 3 different actions.
Yes, each dice space corresponds to these down here. And then if you roll the most of a dice, you're going to get whatever's on this side. And then if you have the least, you're going to get pushed down and you'll get pushed off because you can only use as much spaces as one fewer the amount of players. So you're going to weigh up, do I want to spend all these dice just to do that one action, but to guarantee I get that action and the good version? Or do I want to spread my dice over everything, get to do lots of everything, but at the risk that someone's going to push me out?
You might not be able to do anything.
So this game is very kind of push your luck.
Yeah. And then there's Dragons cards that just mess everything up anyway because they just could kill you. If you happen to have 1 health left, they might just kill you.
Yeah, so I mean, rolling these ones that you can't re-roll, the dragon's eyes, put your dice here on the dragon thing, and then the dragon card's going to do something to you. But it's not always bad. Sometimes you'll take wounds, but you'll also get Dragonscales, which are kind of like the currency of the game. Yeah. Which you can spend on unlocking treasures and other things that you gather.
So everyone's got like their own deck of cards, and they've got their like sort of Munchkin style cards, I guess, where you just you're gonna do very bad things to other people or good things to yourself, and you pay for them using the scales. Some of them are free, but
what's really cool and gives this game a lot of character is that each character has its own deck of cards, and they all do different things. So this one, also the Spider Lady, Celestine. Yeah, she's got cards that kind of web people down so they can't move, or that she has cards that poison people. They give them like damage they can't heal, and stuff like that. And then I can't remember what the other ones do. I think
this is like a mind bender, isn't it? He sort of messes up with your cards or with your stuff and makes you do different things you wouldn't normally do.
Yeah.
They're all different, and
there are 5 characters.
But the weirdest thing about this is it plays 3 to 5.
Yeah, it's awkward player count, especially at the moment. So
well, it makes sense because 2 people. I mean, it is not that fun. It wouldn't be that fun with 2 people. And people said that what if someone dies in a 3-player game? Then it turns out that you're playing 2 people anyway. Well, very rarely somebody will die because you can heal. There is healing stuff. So I mean,
there's lots of opportunities to heal. So if you're dying, it's because you've pushed your luck too hard and have been focusing too much on fighting the dragon and not enough on defending and healing. And generally, if someone dies, it's probably towards the very end of the game anyway.
But you still count your points if you die. It's not.
Yeah, you don't lose. So you could die and still end up winning because you got.
That sort of reminds me of Clank. That you trying to get out. If you die, you still might win, having the most points. Then it's the sort of Munchkin style cards. Then you've got the Yahtzee dice. Then you've got the sort of Dungeon Quest theme. It's just such a mashup.
Yeah,
but
so
it's
I mean,
good.
Yeah, and they have at the end. There's like achievements for who did the most damage to each dragon head. So there's a blue, a yellow, and a red dragon head. So you get the most points if you did the most damage to that particular dragon head. Then a thing for second most, and that's it. Then there are negative tokens. Who did the least damage to the dragon, you get a negative token. And if someone escapes, they get a token for being for escaping first.
Yeah.
And there's a token for whoever's second, and then there's like a slowpoke
token
for whoever was the furthest away.
This game is so ridiculous.
So it's definitely not a game for serious people that want to sit down and play a serious thinking game. This is a game you want to play that's fun. Like you get some friends over who don't play that many board games, but are totally open to playing board games.
It's just a dice chucker, really.
I think they would love this because it's got that Yahtzee, that familiar Yahtzee style mechanic.
Yeah, I mean you do have to know what's going on. It's not like you can just be like somewhere else with your mind and just roll the dice and do whatever. It's not a roll and move.
Yeah, but it's not hard to grasp.
But it's
if
really
I want to get treasures, I want to put dice on the loot thing.
Yeah.
If I want to attack the dragon, I need attack dice. If I want to just leg it out, I put all my dice on the movement thing. And going through here, you get stuff. So every time you land on these things, you get things. So if you want to play it as a simple roll and move, you could. It wouldn't be as fun if you played it just like that.
But this is like, if you know what Dungeon Quest is, right? It's a simple game where you flip the tile, put it down, and you might die in your first move and game over.
Yeah.
This is what could replace Dungeon Quest in so many ways.
I mean, it's mechanically it's a very different game.
It is a different game, but it's sort of the same level of.
Yeah, you just kind of see what happens to you and enjoy the ride, the funny ride of what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh, you've smacked me with this, but no, I've smacked you with this, and then at the end, like, oh, I managed to get out the exit. Oh no.
And so the thing is that up until the very end, you don't know who's got the most of the wounds of the dragon because they are all kept behind those little shields. Yeah. So the wounds are secret. The scales are not. Your wounds are not. Your dice and the dragon wounds are secret. So you don't really know at the end of the game who wins because you have to count them to get the.
Yeah. You probably have an idea because you know who's been attacking the dragon the most, and maybe you've seen they've been taking a lot of that colour. So maybe if they've got loads of that colour, there's no point in me necessarily collecting that colour because I'm not going to be able to get the most.
Yeah, but
or maybe I want to get second most, so maybe I will go for that and try and stop them getting too many.
Anyway, what did we not like about this? Is there anything you don't like about the whole game?
I mean, this isn't something they could fix, but the player count is quite restrictive. I mean, I would love to play this 4 or 5 player, but obviously at the moment that's not really possible. We've played 3 player. When we first got it, we even tried playing it 2 player with a dummy player. We made up our own rules about that.
Doesn't work.
Doesn't really work, but it was just to get a feel for how the game works.
With 3 it was okay.
Yeah.
But I imagine it's more fun with 5. I think the minis are pretty bad. Like, I know you don't think that, but I think the quality of the minis is... I mean, the game is not about minis. The minis could be paused, the minis could be anything, because you just move them on the thing, you don't really pay attention to what they are.
Yes. They're quite simplistic.
But they're not great.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you get up and look really up close to them, compared to some of the games we've played recently...
But we're not going to compare this to, like, a Simon game, right? It's not what it is. But...
But what is good about the minis is that they are actually different colours.
Yeah.
And they're bright colours.
Yeah.
So it's
It's
not like a
yellow,
load of grey.
blue, red, and those two.
If you don't paint your games, it doesn't really matter too much for this because they're already they're already in their colours, so you don't have to paint it. I mean, I'm considering painting it, but I'm still not sure.
There isn't much that I don't like about this game, really. Like, this is a silly, fun game. Like,
Yeah.
I
It's
would
just
get into the table with people who don't play games.
Yes.
Because you don't have to be any sort of gamer to play this game. You even probably you shouldn't be a gamer if you play this game because it's silly, but it's fun.
It's silly fun, but it's much more enjoyable than something like Munchkin or Flux, in our opinion. And
it's too random, those two. Which
Yeah.
this is, you sort of have some sort of control of what's happening because you've got the dice. You decide sort of what you want to roll for and try to re-roll. You're attacking the dragon. You decide when you want to stop. It is push your luck all the way. But it's,
So if something really bad happens, it's because you pushed your luck and you kind of didn't. Although you could roll a load of dragon eyes on your very first roll, which I've did a few times, and it'd be like, well,
does it,
all right, then that's my roll. But it's not that bad because even the dragon eyes give you the dragon scales, so it
and then
helps
you
you.
can pay for the cards or something. Yeah. So I mean,
very pleasantly surprised.
it is
by
a
this
very,
game.
very, very nice surprise. I would not expect that, and I would never probably pick it up just by looking at it.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we have it, and
I think this would be a great family game if you've got if you've got kids aged like 10 and 8 or something like that.
What's the box say? Does the box say what's the
box? It says
14
plus. I think that's probably a bit of an exaggeration.
You have to be able to read because the cards have text.
Yes, that's
There is no blood. There is no gory images, as far as I know. I mean, unless someone's spooked by this sort of thing. No, I said 10, 12 is great. 14, I don't know. But no, it is a good family game, and the player count sort of works for it.
Because I think 4 players is probably the best for this.
So
that's it. Yeah, that's Dragonscales. Pleasantly surprised by this game.
Any
by
thumbs?
Arcane Wonders.
Give me
Thumbs.
some thumbs.
I mean, for what it is, I'll give it 2 thumbs.
Yeah.
For what it is, yeah.
It's a good game. Dragonscales.
Cool.